If chimpanzees and humans share 98% DNA, then why aren't we more similar? The key is epigenomics. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I know most of you already know what genetics is, right? A lot of us actually justify who we are, the habits we have, how our health is progressing on the genes or the DNA that we have inherited from our parents and our ancestors. But that only defines 20% of how our health plays out. Let me use something that happened recently as an example to share this. So, part of my maternal family, the Kapoor family, has an ancestral love for food, right? So, they are what you'd commonly call the Khate Pite Punjabis, which means in simple words, we have the genetic vulnerability towards obesity, diabetes, and a lot of metabolic disorders. Now, in a recent family gathering, a great aunt of mine pointed out that me and a couple of my cousins were lucky that we hadn't inherited this gene. Now, while I was deciding whether I should politely nod or actually give an explanation, my uncle stepped in, who's a doctor, to explain that we have in fact inherited that gene, but we've worked really hard to change and design our habits and choices and lifestyle to make sure that gene stays switched off. Now, what do I mean by keeping a gene switched off? This is exactly what epigenomics does. So think of your body as this high-tech computer. Your body is the hardware. Now, if the body is the hardware, what's the software that runs the system? Your DNA. Your DNA literally holds the information that all of your cells need to function. Think of it as this huge line of code that tells every single cell and organ in your body what to do and when to do it. And you may know that just downloading a software in a system is not enough. The software actually needs to run, right? We could download many softwares in the system, but at a given point in time, some systems are operating or running, while others are just sitting down dormant. The same thing happens in our body. Some DNAs are switched on and processing, while some DNAs are just sitting. And this process of which DNA gets switched on and which DNA stays switched off is very, very important for our health span and longevity, and this process is known as DNA regulation. Now, what decides or manages this switching off and switching on of the DNA? This system is known as epigenomics. Think of it as this super intelligent, real-time, running 24/7 management that defines and decides when and which DNA will get switched on. This system is largely influenced by your lifestyle. And when I say lifestyle, I mean literally every single choice you make, including what you eat, when you eat, how much you sleep, when you sleep, the socio-cultural or religious beliefs you hold, your emotional health, your mental health, whether you exercise or you don't exercise, how much you exercise, even the content you consume. Every single thing influences this epigenomic system, which means it influences how your genes actually play out. There's another way of thinking about this. Think of your gene as the bullet and your lifestyle as the trigger, which means you could be born with certain genes that make you vulnerable towards diseases like, let's say, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, or even certain kinds of cancers. But how much will that gene cause a problem depends on how your lifestyle pulls the trigger. And this is the reason why scientists say that only 20% of your health is defined by your genes or the genetics you've inherited, and a whopping 80% is defined by your choices and your lifestyle. So your DNA or your genes is just the starting point. Your actual story is written by those small choices you make every single day, which means you can choose to make your health story a good one.